Okay, the song of the week, as you know, is O Rest in the Lord, and we are going to talk about how to deal with the chest voice back and forth with the head voice. This is really going to apply to female voices, not necessarily to male voices. And probably all of us have to deal with this, except for a few of you who have really low voices or have really low head voices, but most of us don't. So I'm talking to the normal people out there, the non-superheroes out there. Okay, so we start, this is in the key of C, and we start on a C, which for me is in my chest voice. Now I can do this in head voice, but it is very, very light. So here's what it sounds like in all head voice. Oh, I'm gonna yodel a bit. Okay, I'm gonna try it a little softer, lift the soft palate a bit in the back and see if I can get a nicer sound. Oh, that's a little bit better, but hardly anyone's gonna hear me, so it just depends on how I'm using it. Am I singing it in my living room? Then no problem. If I'm singing it at church and I have a microphone, also no problem. But if I have to really get the sound out, I'm gonna have to use my chest voice. Here's the head voice again, moving through the phrase. Oh, rest in the Lord. It's got a heavy, round, sort of Julia Child sound. Okay, that's the one I can choose. That is how my head voice sounds. I've worked and worked and worked for 25 years on making that different. It did not change for me. So here's what I did choose. And I started with this earlier than working on my head voice. When I was in high school, I was already just doing it myself, trying to figure out how to go back and forth between chest and head voice, because my chest voice is pretty strong. Okay, so here is my chest voice. Oh, rest in the Lord. Now I changed to chest voice for the. Listen to it again. Oh, rest in the Lord. The pops out, doesn't it? Because where I definitely want to be in my chest voice at D, because that's where it becomes stronger. But it pops out too much. Oh, rest in the Lord. I don't really want the to stand out that much. Now here's what happens if I change to only chest voice at Lord, keep it in head voice at the. Okay? There's a point to all this. So stick with me. Oh, rest in the Lord. That was smoother. Okay, here's what I did. Here's the point to all this. We find out where the chest voice can be blendable, where it can be lighter, but still have the strength that chest voice can bring. And then we make sure we use it only there and lower, and not letting it creep up higher and higher. As we get older, especially for women, as we get older, the chest voice kind of wants to take over. I don't know if it's testosterone or if it's just the speaking voice gets stronger. I don't know what it is. We want to fight against that. We want to keep our head voice working for us. The head voice is that light sound. It's this sound right here. It's that Julia Child voice that we need to use to have a healthy, it's healthy classical training. If you hear any pop singer who uses their head voice correctly, chances are they're going to have a very, very long career, and same with musical theater. But you don't hear that a whole lot. You hear versions of belting and the strength of the chest voice coming up higher and higher. That's really hard to do, and it takes a skill that I do not have. So I'm teaching classical training right here, and if we just can keep moving down with that head voice and working through the head voice as low as possible, then you can do what I just did, which is give you the on D, give you that in your head voice as strong as you can, and then switch to chest voice in the C and back off of it just a little bit. I'm going to show you a couple lines. Oh, rest in the Lord. I'll just do the first two lines. Now this is what I'm hoping it will do. This is chest voice, back into head voice, back and forth. Oh, rest in the Lord. Wait patiently for Him. pretty much stays in that comfort zone for me. That is not normally my comfort zone. I've worked and worked to make sure that that head voice can be strong enough to be heard in the lower voice. Often it's not, but I do the best that I can. Let me tell you something about the head voice in that lower area. And this applies so strongly for any soprano. Okay, it might apply for altos too. When I'm working in this middle voice, this lower middle voice for me, E, D, sometimes C, F a little bit, but it's really in E, D, and C. I'm really gonna try to go for a little bit more forward focus. I'm just gonna bring it forward, okay? And there's one way you can teach, not teach that, but kind of train your voice to do that is a little technique that my voice teacher in grad school taught me. You sing the word kitty cat. So sorry, Inchi, I'm taking this from you, but Inchi Bashar would teach kitty cat. And so the kitty is actually eval, okay? But we're not going too forward with it since it's got an I to it. So it helps you find that little forward focus, kitty. And then you open to cat, which is just testing the waters, making sure that you're staying in your head, staying in your mask, but you're opening it up to other vowels. So this cat position, cat, is maybe as wide as I'll be able to open on Lord, rest, in. Like I have to keep things in that general area. So we're kind of manipulating the vowel slightly. Okay, here's kitty cat. Kitty cat, kitty cat. See, it's starting to like, ooh, hard to do. Do it again. Kitty cat, kitty cat, kitty cat. That's much better than how I sang it in the song. Kitty cat. Now here's my chest voice. Kitty cat. And I've already moved into my chest voice. But this helps me keep it. I'm sort of simulating the chest voice in those lower parts of my head voice and trying to make them sound a little bit more alike, at least in the same color palette, okay? So now that I've done that, kitty cat, oh rest in the Lord. It's in a little bit better position and it's a little bit more free and stronger. That is the major part of this song for especially sopranos, again, I say. So please try it for altos too, see how it feels to be able to go back and forth between the chest and the head voice. And guys, I don't know if this really applies to you all that much. Just sing the song and enjoy it. I think it's a very good key for a lot of guys. It goes from low C to high D. Or D above middle C. So that's really not that bad. It stays in a nice range for you. So please use it. Don't worry about it being a song that was written for a woman. Please use it. It's just too good not to use for everybody. But I hope you enjoyed that. And really what you want to do is you want to warm up and sing that kitty cat and then sing the phrase and go back and forth and really try to find that position that really makes your voice work very well back and forth. Okay, thanks everybody.